guys, welcome back to my channel. I know you're probably thinking to yourself, what is this all about, Vanessa? I know you're used to seeing me doing reviews and unboxings and whatnot, but today I wanted to do something different. I do love to create things as well, so I had in mind this kind of spooky little graveyard themed terrarium that I wanted to do. I don't know if you say terrarium, whatever. I don't know how to say it. I kind of wanted to put one together on what I liked. So hopefully I'll inspire some of you guys to get creative and, I don't know, have a little fun. So if you want to see how I put this little graveyard together, stick around and I'll show you how. Okay guys, before I start this tutorial, not an expert. I'm just trying to be creative and come up with my own little take on how I envision my little spooky Halloween little graveyard to look like. So I'm just gonna go with what I have in my mind. You guys go ahead and be creative. Remember that in these crafts and art, it's all about really having fun. So I'm doing my version of it. You guys, I encourage you all to do the same, and I'm sure something cool is gonna come out. So let's get started. There are a couple of things that you will need. Moss. I found this sheet moss, which is pretty cool. You could just tear apart. Some little plants that would look cool in a miniature world as being some big weird plants. Some rocks. I found these rocks in my garden, so you can find them pretty much anywhere. Soil. This is just some good potting mix. A Sharpie. On the pebbles, which you will also need, we're going to be writing on those as little tombstones. And then Halloween trinkets, which I found at a craft store. You will also need some potting tools. Just because we're working with a cactus and taking it out of a little pot, you just kind of need some stuff to make sure you don't get pricked. And a glass container. Any glass container will do. I just really like this one because I thought it would give it a pretty cool effect. Let's grab that glass container and grab your rocks. We're gonna just set in a first layer, first and only layer of rocks. Like I said, I found these in the garden. You can find them in your garden, in someone else's garden, but ask their permission before stealing their rocks. Then go ahead and grab your soil. I was originally gonna just grab it with my hands, but then realized that would be a disaster. So I found this big plastic spoon. Just grab your soil and give it that layer on top of the rocks. Don't go too crazy with the soil because you don't want it to just become too muddy. If you get any clumps, just crack them, break them up, spread them around, get dirty with it. And then for my graveyard, I wanted there to be a little hill towards the back of it. I'm going to pile up some more of that soil towards the back so that I can set my long cactus towards the back as kind of the background of the graveyard. Move the soil around until you get the desired shape that you want for your graveyard. I made a little hole towards the top to give myself an idea of where I'm going to place the long cactus, and just kind of playing around with the trinkets to see where it's going to look best. Once I decided that, I figured I needed to get some more stability, so that's where I grabbed the moss. This sheet moss is really nice because it is just so easy to work with. The color's so bright and green. I love it. So mossy. As I was tearing it apart, I quickly realized that this was just going to be a mess, so I just added some water on top of it and got it a little damp so that it was easier to work with, and I knew where it was going to lay exactly in the container. Alright, let me see how I can show you guys a better angle. Now it's the time to scoop out the cactus. Put your gloves on because I already got stabbed a million times and it's not fun. Try to get as low as you can so that you don't rip the little roots off, but start scooping it up until you feel it get a little looser. You can try to grab the plant by the base, that way you don't rip, again, the roots from the bottom of the poor little plant. Now pull it up, you can dust off some of that excess soil and place it inside of the hole that you had made with your finger. Once you got it in there, you can just press down a little bit on the sides and try to give it a little bit more of balance and stability. Now I'm gonna start placing these skulls and seeing where I want these little skulls. Since I see that this cactus is probably gonna have a hard time standing alone there, and since I can't get too deep in there to push down the soil, I'm just gonna set some rocks beside it to make sure it stands up. And it also looks cute, like a little desert. Now I'm gonna start grabbing the other little plants that I got. These are succulents. I chose these little plants because they look so cool that I felt they looked like from a video game or something. So make the little hole for it and just plop it in. Get your soil around it and try to pack it down so that it stands up and it has enough support. Push it down. Now let's wet some more of that moss and place it next to it to kind of stand it up a little bit. Plus, I also figured maybe it'll hold some moisture so that when I water it, it'll be nice to have some moss near it. Now these pebbles. I found these pebbles on the beach, but like I said, if you look at the floor while you're walking around, I'm sure you can find some flat pebbles like these. So what I decided is to grab these little rocks. I figured if I were to put them inside of the soil, I could write on top with the marker and get some tombstones. R.I.P. That's tombstone stuff. Once you write the RIPs on the pebbles, then you can just start setting them around your graveyard. I even found one that kind of looked like a ghost. So I just drew a little face on it and I'm putting them in the background. Just set another trinket somewhere else. And some more moss. Because moss is cool. And it makes it look even cuter. Alright, and one more guy. One more dude. Nope. Never mind. I'm obviously super excited about this moss. I found that I could put this other little guy in the background. Another one of these fluffy trees. But it needs more soil, so let me just add a little bit more soil, pack it in there, and that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and for watching this. I know it was kind of out of the blue, this little tutorial, but I did enjoy doing it. So if you enjoyed it as well, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more little things like these, go ahead and leave your comments down in the comment section. I'd really appreciate that. And you're here already, so go ahead and click that subscribe button and I don't know, we'll see what else I come up with. But for now, thank you so much and until next time guys, bye.